and good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to this episode of the Better Together Facebook Live. My name is Barb and I am the host of the Better Together Facebook Live show. And this is a show for us, and we talk about all of the things, our hopes, our dreams, our worries, and our waistlines. And it does not matter where you come from or what you've been through. Here on the Better Together Facebook Live show is where we talk about the hope, the help, as well as the practical next steps that we need so that we can all get better together. And if you are a fan of the Better Together podcast here on Facebook, usually I'm hanging out in my office. Well, tonight we're mixing things up a little bit. Our scheduled guest this evening was my friend Arlene Pellicane. She's the author of the new book. But as I was thinking about a topic that I could do in place, I thought I would stick with something that is just a huge part of my life. So tonight, you're going to hear right here in my kitchen, I'm going to show you one of the most important healthy hacks that really has been foundational to me being able to make healthy choices. During the pandemic, I actually was able to lose weight instead of gain weight. And also it really helps me make great decisions. And so I'll get to that in a moment. But today is kind of a special day. Again, I'm in my kitchen, but if you are just joining me, go ahead and drop your name in the comments. Here on the Better Together Facebook Live, we love interacting with each other. And as I talk about healthy hacks, tell us in the comments, like, how have you been staying healthy during the pandemic? What are some ways that whether it's healthy eating or have you been taking walks, but what are some of the ways that in the season of things being different, how have you stayed healthy? One of the huge things for me has been walking at the local metro parks. So, and I'm going to talk about my healthy hack tonight, but tell me, what have you been up to? And throughout the evening, we're going to show your comments on the screen. My fabulous producer, Tabitha, is taking care of filtering in your comments. And so, Tabitha, as comments come in, go ahead and pop them up on the screen so that I can say hello to our guests. And so right now, oh, hi, Jane, good evening from Holland. Thanks for joining me. And we've got Heather. Oh, Heather, hi, honey. I'm so glad to see you. Thanks for joining me. I'm going to pop my little screen up there. But for you, just keep sharing. Hi, Mary, or hi, Missy. I'm glad that you've joined us on Better Together. It's good to have you. This pandemic season, the COVID-19 has been something that we've all been joking about. And so if you're just joining the Better Together Facebook Live, tonight I'm sharing my healthy hack. But as I said, today's a special day. Over here, I have these beautiful flowers. And flowers have been so important to me. Now, I'm a single girl, so right now I don't have anybody who's necessarily shipping me flowers of a romantic nature. But my friend Jill Kemmerer gave me these flowers last week. And today is exciting because today is the release of Jill's brand new book. It's titled The Christmas Cowboy Blessing. And Jill is an author through Love Inspired. And this is a line of inspirational Christian women's fiction. And so you may have seen Love Inspired books at Kroger, at Walmarts across the country. Large retailers carry Love Inspired. So her book releases today. She is one of my very favorite authors. This book features triplet babies. So it's a romance with triplet babies. And so if you're looking for just a nice book with a solid inspirational message about faith, with a great story, Jill is a great best-selling author. You can check this out. And for those of you who've been hanging out for a while, you know that last week my book came out. So just a quick reminder, if you have not gotten a copy of my new Surrender devotional, I would love for you to grab a copy. This is what I call a spiritual cup of coffee for those of us who always try to take control. And so this spiritual cup of coffee, it points you to Jesus. It gives you a plan to stop letting go of control so that you can experience God's peace. So the surrendered devotional is an opportunity for you to not just for yourself, but it's the holidays. You can give one for friends. So, hey, Tabitha, do we have anybody else who's joined us that we've got any other comments from ladies before I show you? Oh, Heather, thank you. Heather says that she's been making sure that she gets in a few workouts, trying to improve her nutrition. That's awesome. And because stress eating is real, Heather, no judgment here. Tabitha, any other comments that we've got? Missy says she's eating healthier. I'm giving you 2 claps, Missy. That is awesome. Well, let me get to showing you my favorite healthy hack. This is something some of you may have seen before, but if you haven't, I want to show you how I do this. And it's really simple because we love fast food. And the reason why we love fast food is because our lives are busy. And even though we have been through the quarantine and the pandemic, the busyness may not always be outside of us. Sometimes the busyness is in our mind. And when our minds are really busy, it's really hard for us to organize ourselves to eat healthy. So whether we're busy on the outside or busy in our minds, fast food becomes an option that helps us feel less stressed so we don't have to plan. Does that make sense? So my healthy hack is something that I've created so that I could have fast but healthy food. So my friends, I want to introduce you to my favorite, salad in a jar. Yes. For the last 7 years or so, maybe even longer, I've been creating salad in a jar most every week. Now, I don't do it absolutely every week, but I do it most every week, like 90% of the time. And this is my version of fast food. Now, salad in a jar is super fun because you can do all kinds of varieties. So today I'm going to show you how I do a basic salad in a jar. And then I'm going to share with you how I upgrade it, how I zhuzh it up, how I make it a little bit more fancy. And so while I'm showing you salad in a jar, Tabitha, what is another icebreaker, or what's another question we could ask the ladies while I'm getting started? Ladies, when you think about eating healthy, what are some healthy hacks, some healthy shortcuts that you use that you might want to share with everyone else? So I'm going to share salad in a jar, but do you have a healthy shortcut that you like to use in your life? And so let me get to showing you salad in a jar because it really is easy. And I've semi-prepared some ingredients, and then I'm going to assemble others. Now, what salad in a jar begins with are the vegetables that you enjoy eating in a salad. And so it can be a variety of things. Now, my salad in a jar, I usually keep the same mixture because that's me. You don't have to do it like this. But at the bottom, I usually put tomatoes. And so I like to use cherry tomatoes. So here's my little container of cherry tomatoes. And then I use shredded carrots. Now, this is where I cheat because I don't want to deal with whole carrots. That's just too much in my mouth to chew. So I buy the shredded carrots at the grocery store. Then after that, I like to use red pepper or yellow pepper, whatever kind of pepper is in season. So I've got a red pepper here. And then so I put the heavier ingredients on the bottom. So it's tomatoes, the carrots, the red pepper, and then red onion. I like to use red onion. You don't have to. And then the lettuce goes on top. Now, there's other options. I do also put in cucumber, but I actually don't put cucumber in the jar because those go mushy pretty quick. I leave those in a separate container. But what I want to show you is how I assemble them, because this is how salad in a jar becomes fast food. Now, the very first thing that I'm going to do real quick is I've got my pepper. And while I'm getting ready to slice my pepper up real quick, your icebreaker question was, what's a healthy hack that you would like to share with others? And so, Tabitha, do we have anybody who shared a healthy hack that we can put on the screen. And so Missy says that she orders Home Chef. You know what, Missy? You are for the win, honey. You are absolutely for the win. Missy, tell me, if you would, type in the comments, what is it about Home Chef that is a healthy hack for you? Like, how is that helpful? So some other folks, they might need to start doing a Home Chef as well. Are there any other healthy hacks out there? Any other comments from ladies about some of the healthy shortcuts that you use? Sarah, thank you for joining us. Sarah says she gets rest and makes healthy choices. Yes, that I didn't mean to point my knife at you, Sarah, but yeah, that is fantastic. When we are rested, that is really just clutch in not making bad food choices, because when we're exhausted, the last thing that we want to do is take time to prepare healthy food. So I love that. Tabitha, do we have anybody else? I'm almost done chopping this up. Any other healthy hacks out there? We've got Missy also says Bible study, prayer for healthy spiritual living. I love that. I absolutely love that. All right, so this is the end of my pepper, and I have chopped up the green pepper that you can see right here on my chopping board. And I have to tell you guys, one of my dreams is just doing a cooking show. And right now, you are all a part of my dream. I just want you to know that right now. So, okay. So now that I've got most items chopped up, and let me do a couple of tomatoes right here. I've been going to the farmer's market in my community all summer long. And I have loved getting healthy vegetables every single week. It has been really just so revolutionary. So I usually use red tomatoes, but I have to tell you, my friends, this heirloom tomato right here, I have been obsessed with these all summer long. I've sliced them, salted them, peppered them. I just have been obsessed. But I usually do not like using large tomatoes in my salad in a jar, because when you cut them, there's just too much flesh and too much juice. It just seems to work out better for me to use these cherry tomatoes. So I am going to chop up one or two more cherry tomatoes, and I've got a big knife here, so I want to pay really, really close attention. So right now I've got the items that I want chopped. And Tabitha, do we have any other comments that have come in that we should see about any healthy hacks? Missy, hey, Missy, thank you for, man, Missy, you've been clutch. Missy says, I have chronic pain and can only stand and bend for so long. And so healthy choice meals are pre-cooked and ready to put together. Fantastic. There are a lot of folks who, because I've done a couple of the meal services, and I love them. There are a number of people who feel like, who question, well, are they too expensive or what have you? But what I realized was, if we calculate how much money we spend eating out, and when we eat out, we can make healthy food choices, but we don't have control over how much salt and butter and things they use. But when we use those home delivery meal services, we can see and make adjustments so that the food can be healthy, and it also ends up being really cost efficient. So actually, I think I've got some coupon cards in here from the last few times I've ordered, except I don't know where they're at. Well, let me stay on task. So now it's time to assemble the salad in a jar. So when I had this jar, so at the bottom, I'm going to put in carrots. And again, I use shredded carrots because I do not like having to chew through whole carrots. And it doesn't matter how much you use. You don't need to pre-measure it. I just grab as much as I know I'm going to eat. And so I just drop in how much ever I think I'm going to eat on the carrots. And so I really like shredded carrots. And then I have tomatoes. I'm going to drop in these tomatoes, and I kind of shake it so that everything settles to the bottom, because these are not the large quart jars, because really that makes too much salad. In a minute, I'm going to show you how much salad these jars make. I'm going to pour it out. But I put in a number of tomatoes in there, and then I am putting in the green or the red pepper, lost one. And I really keep them long, so I'm not chopping them up. I like them long like this. And so you can see that the jar looks like it's about halfway full. Now, I don't have any onions this week, but usually I would throw in some onions. But I like to, around the time that the jar is about halfway full, a little over halfway, almost 2/3, that's when I want to stuff the rest of it with lettuce. And so every week I use either I use either romaine or I use a leaf lettuce. And so I wash it, I chop it, and then I go ahead and grab handfuls. And what we do at this point is we just shove it all. We try not to waste it like I'm doing right now. Usually I do this on the counter, but I want you to be able to see it. And so I just shove as much lettuce down there as I can. Because we want to have a nice bed of lettuce. So I shove the lettuce down. And what also happens is when you pack it tightly, that's how we keep air out, because it's the air that causes the vegetables to age. And so I pack as much lettuce as I can down. And then this is when I grab my canning lid and I screw it down tight. And when I screw it all down tight, look how gorgeous that is. I mean, when you're looking at that, doesn't that look beautiful and appetizing? I mean, seriously. And this is one of the reasons why I love salad in a jar, because when we are hungry, our eyes are looking for something that's beautiful, in addition to our stomachs looking for something that tastes good. And so one of the things that I love is when I open my fridge and I see salad in a jar, it looks appealing. It looks like something that I want to eat. And that's what makes it an attractive option. And so this is, now let me show you, there are some varieties, some variations that you can do. I've got quinoa here. There are some seasons where instead of lettuce, where I will use quinoa and brown rice. So I will have carrots, onions, tomato, peppers, and instead of using lettuce, I will make a batch of quinoa and then fill in the top with that. And there are other things you can do, chicken salad, but you can really customize your salad in a jar for the base salad. Now, what happens when it's time to serve? So what I want to show you now is what happens when you pour out the salad in a jar. So this is the one that I pre-made, and full disclosure, this is actually over a week old. And so I'm not necessarily going to eat this one. Salad in a jar usually lasts, I usually try to eat them within 5 days just for freshness. So this one's been around a little bit longer, so it's not super fresh, but it's still good. And so right now I'm going to pour it out, and you can see, like, it's been around for a minute, but you can get a fair amount of salad on top. Then what I like to do is I like to either drop chicken on top, or I can drop on shrimp on top. There are times when I will put feta cheese and on top with cucumber. And so you can add whatever protein that you want to make it a meal. Salad in a jar can be a side dish, but it also can be a full serving meal. And that is something that I love about it, to make it really flexible and really interesting. So Tabitha, do we have any comments that have come in on the salad in a jar action, or any other comments that have come in? And if we haven't, go ahead and throw up another question as we're getting ready to wrap up. Well, actually, let's not throw up a question. Let me go ahead. We are getting actually to near the end of the time. And so if you like this idea of salad in a jar, go ahead and tell me if you've made it before or if it's interesting. This is a healthy hack, because I know life is stressful, and I know that for many of us, it's really challenging us to make sure that we make healthy choices when we're under stress. And a part of the inspiration for me to make healthy choices is because I want to take care of myself. because I know that God is taking care of me. And a verse that I want to share with you is 1 Peter 5:7 as we close. And 1 Peter 5:7 says this: give all of your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you. And if you've been around with me for a while, you've heard me teach on this verse before. Because when we feel like we're carrying the weight of our lives, when we feel like we're carrying the weight of everything that's happening, it weighs us down. It makes it hard for us to move and to function and to make good decisions. But when we give our weight over to God, we give it over because he can handle the weight much better than we can. And when that weight is lifted off of us, then that's what energizes us so that we can love each other, so that we can take care of ourselves. And so I want to encourage you today, if there have been worries and cares that you've been carrying around, that you would give them to God today because he cares about you. And so that's my encouragement for you today. Last week, my guest, Sherry Brindell, we were talking about one of the things that really stresses us out. And Sherry introduced a product called her Closet Planner. And we may have a picture of it on the screen. But one of the ways, if you have been struggling to take care of yourself, especially when it comes to the clothing that you wear, and you've been really struggling with clothing in your closet, I want you to check out Sherry's Closet Outfit Planner. Tabitha is going to put a link in the comments so that you can check that out. And Sherry, essentially, she does all of the work. She will help you identify what your color code is. And then Sherry has assembled 30 different outfits and a checklist for you so that you can go in your closet, figure out what you have, and then she will show you how to use the clothes you have, as well as some pieces you might need to get, and actually put outfits for you. She does all of the work. Sherry introduced the Closet Outfit Planner about a week ago, and it has been a huge success. So go ahead and grab that Closet Outfit Planner. That's another hack that you can use to take care of yourself. So, friends, I'm so glad that you stopped by to join me for today's Better Together Facebook Live. I am here every single Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're talking about the things in your life that matter so that we can all get better together. You can watch previous episodes of the Better Together Facebook Live at barbruce.com on the blog page. And almost dropped that. And until I see you again, I want you to take care of yourself. Give all of your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you. Thank you for joining me this week, and I'll see you next week, friends. God bless.